What's up guys, Sci-Fi Guy 2094 here. I'm going to do a quick unboxing. This will probably be my final Blu-ray haul for the summer, so let's get into it. I'm going to start with this one from eBay. It's very nicely wrapped, so I appreciate the eBay seller who wrapped it really nicely. And it's one of my favorite colors, purple. So let's start with this one. Alright, so let's get this one open here. This one actually just came like a few minutes ago. Alright. So I have Light of My Life. Starring Casey Affleck, of course, that's Ben Affleck's brother, and Anna Pinowski, as I guess that's his daughter in this film. Basically, the premise of this film, it's like somewhat post-apocalyptic, and it's him and his daughter that are struggling to survive in a world where like the female population has been, I guess, wiped out by like a strange virus. So yeah, pretty interesting. I watched this one time, but I'm definitely due for a rewatch on this one here. I believe this was directed by Casey Affleck as well. Yeah, I think he directed and wrote this film, if I'm not mistaken. Casey Affleck is very underrated. You know, he does more small projects. You know, I feel like not a lot of people even know Casey Affleck exists because obviously like Ben Affleck is the bigger star. But Casey Affleck is very talented as well. Alright. So, anyway. We got the disc there, and then a little insert. This is a Paramount film. This is not on Paramount Plus. I've checked. I've been looking everywhere for this film on streaming. You know, it's not there. So sometimes, you know, if you buy them digitally, that's cool, but you know, sometimes you just want a hard copy. So in those situations, I kind of just buy the Blu-ray. This one comes with a digital code. Who knows if it's valid or not. It's hit or miss with those codes, especially for a film like this, which was 2019. So, due for a rewatch. Like I said, really nice movie. Very good. I recommend that one. Alright. Next, I have a horror film. It's basically like a supernatural horror movie. If I can get this open here. Alright. I have The Golem. This is the reboot. I believe there's a old film from like the 1950s or 60s, which is the silent version. And this reboot is from Sheesh, what year is this? 2019 as well. So, from the director of Jerusalem, I don't know if that's a show or a movie. But basically, okay. So here's just like a little rundown on this film. During an outbreak of a deadly plague, a mystical woman must save her tight-knit Jewish community from foreign invaders, but the entity she conjures to protect them is a far greater evil. I watched this film one time, due for a rewatch, but from what I remember, it was a really, really good movie. So yeah, that's the Golem. Got the disc there. Very cool. Got the Star of David there. And then this, stone looking. Because in mythology, golems are like made of like rock or stone. They come from the earth basically. So I kind of like the artwork on that disc there. If you haven't checked out Golem, you need to. Alright. Now, this film I have seen as well. So, 3 of these films out of the 4 I have seen at some point. The previous 2 I hardly remember because it was like a one-time thing. I watched it once, a long time ago, and I haven't seen it since. This one I've seen more recently. I've probably seen this one at least twice now, but I definitely have to get it in my collection. So, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. That is Ex Machina, starring Alicia Vikander and Oscar Isaac. And then Domhnall Gleeson. He's the other lead guy, the one who's basically interviewing the AI chick. Very interesting movie. There's not really any action, but it's just very intriguing because, the premise of this film, you guys have probably seen it. This worker who works for this tech billionaire is invited to his private house, and he gives him a task of basically interviewing and putting this AI through tests to make sure it's like the most advanced, and if it passed the test for being like very human-like. Very intriguing. There's no action, but it is very captivating. So that is Ex Machina. It's a great movie. A24 never misses. So, I mean, if you like AI films, if you like sci-fi films, and if you just like thrilling and very dialogue-driven films, then this one's for you. Nothing crazy. There's no fighting, no action, but it does keep your attention. And actually, the second time watching this movie, I had kind of forgotten there's like this assistant to Oscar Isaac's character, like the billionaire. It's that really hot Asian chick. And I had forgotten that was actually like an artificial, like an android basically as well. I couldn't remember, wait, is that like a real person or is that like an android? And I was like, no, that's probably like a real chick. But it turns out the hot Asian chick is an android as well. So, yeah. Great movie. Now, final one here, Shutter title. I have not seen this one. So this is the only one I haven't seen. I just, I heard good things about it. Supernatural horror. You got me there. I love supernatural horror. The reviews seem cool. People tended to like it. So I went ahead and picked it up. Shudder Original. Shudder is like a streaming site. They specialize in like I guess horror movies. But you have When Evil Lurks. There's no point in praying. So man, this is probably a very scary film. There you go. Got the disc there in this nice blood red color. This film is in Spanish language, I believe, with English subtitles. So just be ready for that if you guys pick this one up. Okay. So it says written and directed by Damien Rugna. When Evil Lurks follows Pedro and Jimmy, a pair of brothers in a remote village who discover a demon-infected man just about to give birth to evil itself. Oh wow, I had to pause there. It's like, wait, demon-infected man about to give birth. I was like, well, men can't give birth. So I was making sure I was reading that right. But yeah, that's what it says. They decide to get rid of the man, but merely succeed in spreading the chaos. Ooh. That sounds good. I'm really excited for this one. I have not seen this one. I'm excited to check it out. So, anyway, that is probably my final haul for the summer. Supernatural horror, When Evil Lurks, sci-fi thriller, Ex Machina, which is, I believe, written and directed by Alex Garland, the guy who just directed 28 Years Later. He's also the director of Annihilation, which is another amazing film. Another supernatural with Golem, and then I guess you could consider it like a survival post-apocalyptic thriller with Light of My Life. So anyway, those are going to be my final movies for the summer. Comment down below what you think about these movies, or if you haven't seen them, if it's something that interests you.